Hello, I'm Luke Shearer from Worth.
And I'm Adam Goff from Worth.
And you're watching
liveprog.com.
Lovely, thank you, enjoy it.
Hello, welcome to LiveProg. Thank you for tuning in into another video review. I am your host Marcel Haster and I am proud as a peacock. Why? Because I get to review an album of the band that was on the basis, on the foundation of LiveProg. The very first band I did a video review of. Do you still remember which band that was? Absolutely, the band Earth. And they are back with a stunning new album, which is called Moments. If we look at the past period since 2010, since Earth released their self-titled debut album, a lot has happened. You could say that the prog scene, the prog fans have embraced the band. Now, mind you, when they recorded and released their debut album, they had no idea what prog was, or that there even was something called a prog scene or prog fans. So, now they have been exposed to all this progness, and I was wondering what would happen with this band, and especially what kind of effect it would have on a follow-up album like this one that I have in my hands here. Now, I live in Holland, as you may or may not know, and I had the pleasure to see Earth on stage in Holland twice. And I gotta say, they blew everybody away. It is a stunning live band. They played on a couple of prog festivals, and they did their thing. They brought their music with the passion you hear on the album. And the second time they did a double show with the Dutch band Mangrove. And there they played a lot of tracks from this new album. So we could already hear it in a live setting, and of course at the show you could buy the album. Now the track list is a little hard to read, as you can see. Now once we're looking at the artwork, we're gonna open it up. There we have it. Now, these are all the lyrics you find on the album, so not much. There's the CD and there are the credits. Now, the first Earth album, when you looked at the lineup, they had several singers, they had several musicians, so it had the kind of a feeling that it was a bit of a project. Now, if you have seen Earth on stage recently, or let's say in the past year, it is very clear that Earth is far from a project. They are a real band, and they are a real tight band. If you see how well they play together, it is amazing. And they have a couple of secret weapons. Let's bring in the lineup, because the first name mentioned here is the first secret weapon, Mr. Dave Curiton, guitar man extraordinaire. If you see him on stage with his guitar playing, like a madman. And yet fantastic, really good, sometimes over the top, but always perfect. Just, very enthusiastic and real catchy, and he handles his acts really well. But on the album he does more than just guitar. He does that live as well. He also sings, he plays keyboards, and he does some programming. Then we have the second secret weapon, Mr. Adam Goff, the keyboard man. But if you see him live on stage, you see he's also wearing a guitar and he's playing. So that was a surprise the very first time I saw it, but it is listed here. First instrument keyboard, second instrument guitar. And another really nice instrument, and I've seen it on stage, the theremin. Really beautiful. If you hear it throughout this album, you hear, what a nice effect it adds to the music. secret weapon number 3. Richard Curiton, the drums. Oh man, you should see this guy on stage. You know, he doesn't have this huge kit. You know, you can't even see my arms. You know, throughout the screen. This huge kit that Mike Portnoy has. Or, well, you know, I love the guy. He is my favorite drummer. You know, Scott Haim. He also used to have a really huge kit. Richard Curiton has a small kit, and he works his magic with it. You know, it's a delight to see him on stage and to hear him on the album. But we're not there yet. Secret weapon number 4, the vocals. Claire Malin on vocals on this one. At the first album they had a few singers, including Steve Balsamo. Well, he's not on this album. The only singers, plural, are Claire Malin, the female vocals, and we have Dave Curiton doing some vocals. But other than that, they don't have a singer. Well, okay, Adam Goff is listed with vocals as well, but that's more backup. Alright, we have another secret weapon, Christian Noakes on the bass guitar. And when you listen to him, you know, this really solid bass in all the tracks, you know, he is an amazing guy. And when you see him on stage, he may look a little bit quiet, but I noticed that's a lot with bass players, you know, they tend to just do their thing. I mean, look at Mangrove, the bass player there, but even look at Porcupine Tree. Colin Edwin just stands there smiling and doing his thing, but they lay down a really solid bass groove, and that's what Christian Noakes does. And then we have someone, oh, this is an asset to this band and such an important part in the music of IO Earth. Luke Schindler, flute and soprano saxophone. And when I mention him, if you listen to this album and you hear the parts he plays and see what an amazing mood he brings with his play, you know, I can honestly say with this album, even my video review does not do justice to this album, because I only let you listen to bits and pieces, and this is an album you should listen to in its entirety, because it is an adventure to listen to moments. You just gotta get on board and just close your eyes and let the band take you on a ride through their musical landscape.
And we'll still say, this was our finest hour. And we'll still say, this was our finest hour. This was our finest hour. And we'll still say, this was our finest hour.
Because IO Earth is a truly progressive band. They don't adhere to the standards what we call prog. No, they make their own music. And what I like about it is that they incorporate a lot of different influences. They have drum and bass, they have lounge, they have dance, they use samples, you know, in all kinds of things. One of my favorite tracks, especially live, was The Finest Hour. Well, they have a really great sample of Winston Churchill, you know. It's also on the album and it is absolutely fantastic. But we're not done with the lineup, because this is really special what they do here, and this shows what an amazing band it is and how well IO Earth as a, well, I almost say as an organization, works together. Because well, we have an additional musician, Steve Trigg, doing trumpet, and then we have a few unusual guests. Wendy Vissers Hagenbeek and Jaina May Noah Vissers, long name, sorry, do spoken words. Now, Wendy is the photographer and PR lady, and well, she does so much for this band. And it's really nice that she gets a part on the album, and one of her daughters as well. And we have Nico Curiton doing some percussion, and from what I read in the liner notes, Nico Curiton is 6 and Jaina May Noah is 9. So, young kids, but they also do a part on this album. Now, the whole combination of musicians, of the fact that they have their own kind of musical universe that they work in. They don't bother with the other prog bands, they don't want to sound like Genesis, they probably don't even know what Genesis is. Just kidding, of course they know, but you know, they have their own, I can't explain. IO Earth is a genre themselves, you know, and therefore I can only say, you know, close your eyes, buy this album. This is just a blind purchase. It's just such an amazing album. You know, listen to it and let yourself be swept away with the magic that is IO Earth. That is all I can say about this album. I don't need to say any more. You need to listen to it.